I never thought a single afternoon could change the entire direction of my life. Funny thing is, I'd always believed that love was made of small gestures, little details, simple things that showed how much someone mattered. My mother used to say that flowers carried messages we were too afraid to speak out loud. I guess that's one of the reasons I've always loved giving them. They make me feel like I'm doing something meaningful, something gentle in a world that's always rushing. That morning, for no special reason, I woke up thinking about Lena. Not the usual thinking we all do when we're in a relationship, but something deeper, something warm that sits quietly behind your ribs and makes you smile before you even open your eyes. I don't know why, but I missed her more than usual. Maybe it was the way she laughed the night before. Maybe it was the message she sent me early in the morning, saying she had a stressful day ahead. Or maybe it was intuition trying to whisper something I refused to hear. Looking back now, I wonder if people sense when their world is about to crack. Maybe there's always a sign, a small discomfort, a tightness in the chest. Something subtle that warns us. If there was, I missed it. Completely. I got dressed, grabbed my keys, and on impulse decided to stop by the flower shop 3 blocks from my apartment. The little bell above the door chimed when I walked in, the scent of roses and lilies wrapping around me. I've always liked that place. It feels like a piece of softness inside a noisy city. The florist smiled at me, like she already knew why I was there. I guess I had that lovesick fool doing something romantic look on my face. She asked, "Who's the lucky one today?" And I said Lena's name out loud, with a kind of pride I haven't felt in a long time. Hearing myself say her name like that. God. It stings now. I chose a bouquet of soft pink roses. Lena always said they looked peaceful. I left the shop feeling lighter, excited even. I imagined her face when she saw me at her workplace during her lunch break. I wanted her day to get better the moment she opened the door and saw me standing there, holding those flowers like some hopeless romantic idiot. I didn't know that by the time I arrived, part of me would stop existing. The drive to her office was short, maybe 15 minutes. I remember tapping my fingers on the steering wheel, humming a song she liked. I kept checking the time, wanting to arrive before she went out to lunch with her coworkers. She'd mentioned they had been eating together lately. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Why would I? She always told me everything, at least, I thought she did. When I pulled into the parking lot of her building, the sun was high and sharp, the kind that makes everything appear more vivid. I parked near the entrance and texted her. "Got a surprise for you. Come down." A minute passed. 2. No reply. I didn't want to seem impatient, so I stepped out of the car to stretch. That's when I noticed a familiar shape a few rows ahead, her car. I wasn't surprised. She always parked in the same place, close to the tree that gave a bit of shade in the afternoon. I smiled when I saw it. I thought maybe I could walk up to it and leave the flowers on her seat while she was still inside working. Some stupid romantic idea like that. I kept imagining all kinds of cute reactions she might have. I had no idea the only reaction I'd witnessed that day would break me into more pieces than I knew a person could have. As I walked between the parked cars, adjusting the bouquet in my hands, I noticed something strange. Lena's car was on, engine running. The windows were slightly fogged, and for a moment I thought maybe she was grabbing something she forgot before going back inside. But then someone moved inside. A silhouette. 2 silhouettes. I froze. My first instinct was to tell myself I was wrong. That it wasn't what it looked like. That maybe she and a coworker were discussing something. That maybe, God, I came up with 100 excuses in 2 seconds. Because when you love someone, your brain tries desperately to shield you from the truth. But then I took 3 more steps forward. Clear enough to see. Close enough to feel something inside me collapse. Their heads leaned toward each other. A hand caressed her cheek. And then, her lips pressed against his. My heart didn't break in a dramatic, movie-like shatter. No. It was quieter. Like a soft tearing sound you barely hear but feel everywhere. She was kissing him. In her car. At her workplace. At the same time I was walking toward her with flowers in my hands like a fool. I didn't know his name at first, but then I recognized him. Marcus. The coworker she mentioned once or twice. The one she said was, just friendly. The one I had no reason to worry about. Everything inside me went silent. I don't know how long I stood there. Maybe 10 seconds. Maybe a full minute. I felt like gravity doubled, like my body weighed too much for my bones. My throat tightened, and for a moment I forgot how to breathe. I don't think I blinked even once. A thought crossed my mind, soft and cruel. So this is what betrayal looks like from the outside. It's odd, how calm I felt. My mind wasn't running, it was numb. There wasn't anger yet, just confusion, pure confusion that made my stomach twist. My fingers tightened around the flowers unconsciously, petals bending under my grip. I didn't call her name. I didn't bang on the window. I didn't shout like someone in a movie. I simply turned and walked back 2 steps, not sure what to do. The bouquet felt stupid in my hands. Pointless. Heavy. Maybe I made a sound. Maybe I kicked a pebble on the asphalt. Whatever it was, she noticed. I heard the car door click open behind me. I didn't want to look. I didn't want to see her face after witnessing something I was never meant to see. But I turned anyway. She stepped out of the car quickly, her hair slightly messy, her lips swollen. Marcus stayed seated, eyes wide like he'd been caught stealing oxygen. Lena called my name, loud, desperate, a sound I'll never forget because it was the exact opposite of what I had seen seconds before. Ethan, wait, wait. Her voice trembled. I never heard it shake like that. I stood there, holding the flowers that now felt like a joke the universe was telling at my expense. She walked toward me fast, panic all over her face. I could see guilt dripping from her expression before she even said a word. Ethan, it's not, you don't understand. That sentence alone almost made me laugh. You don't understand. What exactly was I supposed to misunderstand? Her mouth on his hand on her neck. The look in her eyes, soft, intimate, the way she used to look at me. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I wish I had. It would have been easier. Instead, I asked something so simple it surprised even me. How long? She froze. Her breath caught. Marcus stepped out of the car, but neither of us cared about him. I repeated, slower, calmer, like someone asking about the weather. How long, Lena? She opened her mouth, closed it, opened again. A tiny stutter came out, Ethan, please. That was my answer. Right there. The plea instead of the truth. Her silence hurt more than the kiss. I looked down at the flowers, then back at her. When I spoke again, my voice didn't sound like mine. These were for you. I thought I'd make your day a little better. She stared at them like they were covered in blood. I'm sorry, she whispered. Her eyes filled with tears, and for a second I almost felt bad for her. But then the image of her lips on his flashed again and the sympathy evaporated. I took a step back. Distance. I needed distance. Marcus walked closer, raising his hands like he expected a fight. Man, listen. Don't. I didn't shout. But my voice cut the air cleanly. He stopped like I'd slapped him. I looked at Lena again. Her makeup was already smudging. She seemed small, like she was shrinking under the weight of her own choices. Why? Another simple question. Another impossible answer. She shook her head, tears spilling over. I don't know, it just happened, things at work have been stressful and I closed my eyes. The excuses tasted bitter even from her mouth. I whispered, "It doesn't just happen, Lena." Her face twisted. Shame, fear, regret, maybe all three. She reached out like she wanted to touch my arm, but I stepped back again. She froze mid-air. And something inside me finally snapped. Not loudly. Not violently. Quietly. Like acceptance. "I hope he was worth it," I said. My voice cracked on the last word, but I didn't care. She sobbed, shaking her head, but I couldn't listen anymore. I placed the flowers gently on the hood of her car. They looked wrong there. Then I turned around and walked back toward my car. She called my name 3 times. I didn't look back once. The moment I closed my door, I finally exhaled. A long, painful breath that felt like it had been stuck inside me for years. My hands were trembling so hard I had to grip the steering wheel to steady them. I didn't start the engine right away. I stared ahead, at the blur of the parking lot, and wondered how a life can collapse so quietly. Eventually, when her voice stopped echoing in my head, I drove off. Not home. Just away. I didn't know where I was going. I just needed distance, space to figure out how the hell I was supposed to process the fact that the woman I loved was kissing someone else while I was on my way to give her roses. I drove for almost an hour without realizing it. Music played, but I didn't hear anything. My phone buzzed non-stop, texts from Lena, calls I didn't answer. At some point, I pulled over near a lake outside the city. It was quiet there. Too quiet. I stared at my reflection in the rearview mirror. I looked like someone who'd aged 10 years in a single afternoon. I kept asking myself, was I not enough? Did she ever love me? Did I miss the signs? I replayed every moment of the past months like a movie. Her late nights at work. Her phone flipped face down. Her sudden distance. The jokes about Marcus she brushed off. The excuses. I trusted her so much. Too much. I loved her blindly, completely, foolishly. And now, I didn't even know who she really was. Part of me wanted to go home, curl up and cry until everything faded. Another part wanted answers. Closure. Something to make sense of the chaos in my chest. But as the sun began to set, one thing became clear. The woman I thought I knew no longer existed. Or maybe, she never did. And that realization hurt more than the betrayal itself. While I sat there, staring at the darkening horizon, my phone vibrated again. This time, it wasn't Lena. It was someone else. Someone I hadn't heard from in months. Someone who would change the direction of this story more than I ever expected. But I'll get to that. Because that message is where everything shifts. I sat there for a long time, watching the sunlight sink behind the trees as if it were trying to hide from the world the same way I wished I could. My thoughts twisted into shapes I didn't recognize. The ache in my chest came and went in waves, and the silence around me felt heavy enough to crush bone. My phone buzzed again. At first, I ignored it. I didn't want more apologies from Lena, more desperate attempts to explain the unexplainable. But then I looked at the screen and froze when I saw the name. Maya. I hadn't spoken to her in almost 8 months. She used to be one of my closest friends, someone who knew parts of me no one else ever bothered to understand. We drifted apart after she moved to another city, and after life got busier, messier. At one point, I thought we would be something more, but timing is cruel like that, always a step ahead or a step behind what you want. Seeing her name felt like a jolt to my chest. I opened the message. Ethan, are you okay? I know this might be weird, but call me. Please. I stared at the words for a long time. How did she know something was wrong? I hadn't posted anything, hadn't talked to anyone. Or so I thought. Before I could overthink, I hit call. She answered on the first ring, breathless, like she'd been waiting. Ethan. Thank God. Are you safe? Her voice alone made something in me loosen. Maya always had that effect, like she could build a shelter in a storm with nothing but her tone. Yeah, I said. I guess. How did you even know? She hesitated for a moment before answering. Lena called me. That name alone made my stomach twist. Maya continued, she told me you saw something. Something she did. She said you left and she couldn't reach you. I closed my eyes. Did she also tell you what she was doing? Maya let out a slow, controlled breath. Yes. I didn't know what response I expected. Sympathy. Anger on my behalf. Shock. But her voice was steady. Ethan. I'm so sorry. Those 4 words hit harder than anything Lena had said all day. They carried sincerity. They carried weight. No, I whispered, I don't want sorry right now. I don't know what to feel. I loved her, Maya. I thought she loved me. She was quiet for a moment, and when she spoke again, her voice was softer, almost trembling. Can I come see you? I blinked, taken aback. You're here. In town. I arrived this morning. I was planning to surprise my family. I didn't think you'd need me this much, this fast. I swallowed hard. I'm at the lake. The one near the West Highway. I know the place. Don't move, I'll be there in 20 minutes. And then she hung up. I leaned back in my seat, letting her words replay in my mind. Maya was here. And she was coming to see me. For the first time since everything fell apart, I felt something other than pain, something faint, uncertain, but undeniably warm. Maybe hope. While I waited, I thought about Lena again, despite hating myself for it. The betrayal wasn't just a moment in a parking lot, it was the collapse of a world I had built, brick by brick, around the idea of us. And now I was standing in the ruins, trying to understand how she burned everything so easily. Part of me wanted answers. Part of me didn't want to hear her voice ever again. I was still staring at the lake when a car slowed down behind me. I recognized it instantly, small, dark blue, dust around the edges from long drives. Maya stepped out and walked toward me. She looked different. Older in a good way. More grounded. Her hair was longer, tied loosely behind her shoulders. She wore a simple jacket and jeans, no makeup, but she was glowing in that effortless way she always had. When our eyes met, she didn't say a word. She just wrapped her arms around me. I didn't realize how badly I needed that until my body melted into hers. I didn't cry, my eyes were too exhausted for that, but something in me finally let go. We stood like that for almost a full minute. When she pulled back, she searched my face carefully. You look heartbreakingly tired. I feel worse. She sighed and leaned against the hood of my car, motioning for me to join her. Tell me everything, she said. From the beginning. So I did. I told her about the flowers, about the excitement, about the stupid hopes I had. I told her about the parking lot, the kiss, the confrontation. I told her how I walked away without yelling, without fighting, because the betrayal itself already took all the strength I had. Maya listened without interrupting once. Her expression tightened at certain parts, softened at others. When I finished, she exhaled slowly, as if she'd been holding her breath through the entire story. Ethan, she doesn't deserve you. Not even a piece of you. I looked at the ground. I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse. She nudged my arm gently. It's supposed to make you remember who you are. Because right now your mind is trying to convince you that you're not worth loyalty or love. And that's a lie. I swallowed, my voice barely a whisper. Then why wasn't I enough? Maya shook her head firmly. This was never about you not being enough. Cheating isn't a reflection of the person betrayed, it's a reflection of the betrayer. People don't cheat because their partners fail. They cheat because they fail. Her certainty was comforting. Almost dangerously so. She continued, softer this time. You gave Lena a version of love most people spend their whole lives looking for. Clearly she didn't want it. Or she didn't know how to receive it. Silence settled between us, not awkward, but heavy with unspoken things. Then Maya said something I didn't expect. I didn't want to tell you this before, but, when you and Lena started dating, I had a feeling something wasn't right. I frowned. Why? Because you were giving her a heart you could have given to someone who actually cared. The implication hit me like a slow-building shock. I turned to face her fully. Maya, what are you saying? She met my gaze without flinching. I'm saying that I should have told you sooner that I. Before she could finish, a car pulled up behind hers. Fast. Loud. Aggressive. I didn't need to see the driver to know who it was. Lena. She stepped out, still crying, mascara running down her cheeks, her hair a mess of guilt and desperation. For a moment, she didn't notice Maya. Her eyes were locked on me. Ethan, please talk to me. She took a shaky step forward. I can't let it end like this. Maya straightened, her arms crossing over her chest. She wasn't hostile, but she wasn't welcoming either. I took a breath. Lena, why are you here? She wiped her cheeks with trembling hands. To fix this. To explain. To God, Ethan, I made a mistake, a horrible mistake, and I can fix it if you just. You cheated on me, I said, my voice flat. In broad daylight. At your job. With someone you work with every day. Her lips trembled. I know. I know. I hate myself for it. I don't even know why it happened, Marcus, he. Maya interrupted sharply. Stop blaming him. Lena snapped her head toward her, startled. Maya. What are you even? You cheated, Maya said. Not him. Not stress. Not circumstances. You. Own it. Lena's face flushed red, part shame, part anger. You don't understand our relationship. I understand integrity, Maya shot back. I raised a hand, stepping between them slightly. Lena, why are you really here? I asked calmly. Because if it's just guilt, say it now. Don't pretend it's love. She swallowed hard. I love you. I messed up. But I love you. I felt something crumble again, not my heart this time, but the illusion I had left of her. I shook my head slowly. If you loved me, that moment in the car wouldn't exist. She reached for me. I stepped back. Her face broke. Ethan, please. Maya touched my arm lightly. She didn't pull me away. Just grounded me with her presence. I think you should go, I told Lena gently. She stared at me like I'd stabbed her. Just like that. After everything. After years. After what you did today, I said softly, you and I don't exist anymore. The silence that followed was suffocating. She looked at Maya, her voice cracking. Is this because she's here? Because she always had feelings. That's enough, I said firmly. Lena let out a broken sob. I'm sorry, Ethan. I'm so sorry. And for the first time all day, I believed her. But apologies don't rebuild burned houses. She turned away, walking back to her car with slow, lifeless steps. Before she got in, she looked at me one last time. I hope someday you forgive me, she whispered. Then she drove off. The moment she disappeared, I felt my knees weaken. I leaned against my car again, my chest heavy but strangely, lighter than before. Maya stayed beside me silently until my breathing steadied. "You okay?" she asked softly. "No," I admitted. "But I will be." She nodded, her eyes warm with something deeper than comfort. "You were saying something earlier." Before she showed up, I reminded her gently. Maya hesitated, like she was choosing her words carefully. "I was saying," she began, "that I should have told you sooner that I cared about you. More than a friend should." The confession didn't shock me as much as I expected. Maybe because a part of me had always known. Maybe because her presence had always felt like home. "And I didn't tell you," she continued, "because you were building something with someone else, and I didn't want to interfere. I wanted you to be happy, even if it wasn't with me." I stared at her, my heart beating in a slow, confused rhythm. "Maya, why now?" She smiled sadly. "Because when I heard what happened, something inside me snapped. I couldn't stay quiet anymore. Not when you're hurting like this. Not when I know I could be there for you in a way she never was." It would have been easy, too easy, to fall into her arms right then. To use her warmth to patch the holes Lena left behind. But I didn't want to make the same mistake Lena did. I didn't want to confuse comfort with love, or pain with longing. So I spoke honestly. "I care about you, Maya. More than I realized. But I'm broken right now." She nodded, understanding immediately. That was the thing about Maya, she always understood without needing explanations. "I'm not asking you for anything," she said softly. "I just want you to know you're not alone. Not tonight. Not tomorrow. Not after this." Those words, they healed something small inside me. A bruise that was still forming. I exhaled shakily. "Can you stay with me for a while?" Her smile was gentle. "As long as you need." She moved closer and rested her head on my shoulder. We watched the lake in silence, the moon slowly replacing the sun, the world calming around us. For the first time that day, I didn't feel shattered, just human. And maybe that was enough. As the night deepened, I realized something. Life doesn't collapse to end you. Sometimes it collapses to rebuild you. And maybe, just maybe, what broke me today was clearing space for something better tomorrow. Whatever happens next, whether Maya becomes part of my story again, or whether I just learn to stand on my own 2 feet, I know one thing. This betrayal was not my ending. It was my beginning. And with that, I finally felt the weight on my chest lift, just enough to breathe again.